What's up YouTube? So this is a Sonata 2015, and what happens is it's a upper trim, so it has the 17 inches wheels, and we are here in Montreal. The streets are really bad, lots of pothole. What happens when this car gets older, not very old but just older, the shocks start wearing off and they get just very stiff. So the ride is going to get really stiff at that point. It's unbearable, honestly. I tried to lower the tire pressure. I put it 28 or so, but even then it was too stiff, the ride, too harsh, and it's going to be just more fuel consumption anyhow. So one of the things you may want to do at that point is to increase the tire size. As you can see, perhaps it's a matter of taste, obviously. It's going to look a little bit like a minivan or so. So that's the downside. Initially, I tried to, these are genuine 17 inches wheels. Initially, I tried to ask the dealership if he can put 16 inches wheels, because you have the lower Sonata trim which comes with 16 inches. The problem is the 17 inches models that have 17 inches wheels from the factory, actually Hyundai is also putting bigger brakes in the front wheels. So you see the clearance with 17 inches wheels, it's almost nothing. It's like a few millimeters. So the dealership tried to install 16 inches wheels, genuine ones, and he said it doesn't fit. I did heard someone on internet saying he could fit 16 it's really cold outside, 16 inches over the bigger brakes. He said the clearance were absolutely minimal. I don't know if it was, maybe some wheels have a bigger gap inside, I don't know, but the genuine 16 inches well, dealership said it won't fit. Even if it fits, it will be so small clearance, is almost dangerous, you know, the brakes has to move inside. So anyhow, long story short, instead of dropping with smaller wheels, because when you put smaller wheels, what happens, the original 17 inches tires have a very small tire wall here. They are 55, I think, the dimension here. The original, I think, is 205, 55, 17. Very small wall here, and that's what gives you harshness too. And I try to install smaller 16 inches wheels, because the smaller wheels have a slightly larger tire to have the same tire diameter, so the 16 inches wheels will have a bigger wall here. Check out cars with 16 inches wheels, and that will give you better damping, so less harsh ride. But like I said, I couldn't fit 16 inches wheels. I think Hyundai made a mistake to put bigger wheels, bigger brakes. I don't understand why they are putting bigger brakes on more expensive models, because the base brakes on the 16 inches wheels are just as good. I don't know, it's anyhow, that's perhaps another subject, but that's forcing you to keep 17 inches wheels. So the reason for this video is to show you how a bigger tire, so again 2025 by 60 compared to 205 by 55, this will give you significantly bigger wall here. And bear in mind that these are winter tires, so there's also summertime will actually have even bigger wall, because it has to have the same exterior diameter, and part of the exterior diameter is taken by these bigger treads on winter tires. So a summer tire on the same size, 225 60, is going to have an even bigger wall and is going to give you a smoother ride. And that's why I did this change, at least for the winter tire for now. The ride is better now. I could inflate the tire higher, 32 something, so it's much less harsh. And perhaps this is what you need to do. If you have the bigger wheels, you have a poor street in your area, you may want to go with bigger tires. It's not really big impact on fuel consumption. I think these are I'll put, perhaps if I don't forget, in the comment section, this is going to be about the size of the tire, that the biggest that you can fit in there without having any kind of friction. Even here the tire is inside the gap. When you turn the wheel, it doesn't it doesn't touch, that's where you want to check. You tune fully the well and see if it touches. So I had no rubbing anywhere in the front or rear in any kind of condition. So this is perhaps what you want to do if you want a smoother ride. I'll give you an example about the remaining gap to the well turned. If you look behind the well here, I can still insert maybe my finger, so maybe there's like still 1 centimeter left. That would be just a safe margin. Perhaps you can go a few millimeter bigger tire, but I would say this would be the biggest. I will put in the comment section the overall diameter of this one and give you a few more explanation.